I need to tell you something. Something that might actually piss you off a little. You know that person in your life who just wins? Yeah, that one. The one who got the promotion you swear was yours. The one who launched the business you were planning to start. Somehow has time for the gym and their kids and still looks calm about it. Here's the part nobody likes to admit. They're not lucky. They're not magically more talented. And honestly, they might not even be smarter than you. But something different is happening in their brain. Something measurable. Something you don't have yet. So stay with me for a few minutes, okay? Because I'm about to show you 4 psychological patterns that separate people who win from people who just try. And yeah, this part might sting a bit. You're probably using the wrong one for your life right now. But wait, one warning before we start. One of these types burns out harder than anyone. Another one? Psychologists say it's the least likely to lead to long-term happiness. I'll tell you which is which at the end. Let's see if you can guess. All right, type 1, the probability architect. This is the one everyone thinks they are. You've met this person. They don't take big risks. They don't make loud, dramatic moves. And yet, somehow, everything they touch works out. Here's their secret. They don't bet on what could happen. They bet on what's most likely to happen. Psychologists call it probabilistic thinking. Sounds smart, right? Yeah, here's the problem. They win consistently, but they almost never win big. They get so obsessed with avoiding failure that they optimize themselves into a cage. They become the person with the perfect resume and a life they don't actually want. So if you're stuck making pros and cons lists while everyone else is moving, well, congratulations. You're not indecisive, you're just a broken architect. Type 2, the failure alchemist. And yeah, this is the one you're scared to become. I'm about to say something controversial. The most dangerous person in any room is the one who's failed the most. Here's why. Most people's brains treat failure like a threat. Your ego panics, your body floods with stress, and you quietly decide not to try again. But the alchemist's brain, it doesn't process failure as pain, it processes it as data. Researchers call it high error correction capacity, which is a fancy way of saying they rewired their ego to not give a damn. By the time they finally win, they've failed more times than you've even tried, and that's exactly why they're ahead. But here's the cost nobody talks about. Alchemists don't get to quit, ever, because the second they stop reframing failure as learning, the weight of all those losses hits them at once. They're not fearless. They just can't afford to stop moving. Okay, now it gets weird. Type 3, the routine stoic. You'll never see this one coming. Back in the 1970s, scientists discovered something called the winner effect. Every time an animal wins, even a tiny win, its brain chemistry changes. More dopamine, more confidence, more hunger to win again. And here's the wild part. Your brain doesn't know the difference between winning a championship and winning at waking up on time. The Stoic doesn't win because they're disciplined. They win because they've hacked their neurochemistry. Every boring habit, every tiny routine is training their brain to expect victory. By the time they step onto the big stage, their brain has already won 1,000 times. But here's the part motivation videos don't tell you. The Stoic strength becomes their prison. They forget how to be spontaneous, how to play, how to just exist without optimizing. They win the game, but sometimes they lose the life. Type 4, the selective focuser. You probably think this one is rude. Quick question. What's the most valuable skill in the 21st century? It's not intelligence. It's not creativity. It's the ability to ignore almost everything. Psychologists call it cognitive inhibition. Most people notice every notification, every opportunity, every shiny distraction. But the focuser? Their brain deletes noise before it even registers. They don't try to do it all. They don't hustle everywhere. They pick one frontier and they go all in. While you're juggling 10 goals, they're demolishing one. They're not a flashlight, they're a laser. But here's the trade-off. They miss the world. They don't know what's trending. They don't have range. And when their one thing falls apart, they don't know who they are anymore. So here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. None of these types are happy. The architect wins small and dreams big. The alchemist wins often and never rests. The stoic wins consistently and loses spontaneity. The focuser wins massively and misses everything else. So the real question isn't how to win. It's this: what are you willing to lose to win? Because the dirty secret about winning, it's not about having more than everyone else. It's about deciding what you're willing to sacrifice and whether you can live with that choice when the crowd stops cheering. But what if I told you there's a fifth type, one the research barely talks about because it doesn't fit the winner narrative? The integrator. They calculate when needed, learn from failure, build habits that matter, focus when it counts, but they never optimize their humanity away. They don't win every race. They're not on the Forbes list, but they sleep well, they show up for their kids, they remember why they started. And here's the twist. In 30 years, when the architect is wondering what if, when the alchemist finally burns out, when the stoic realizes they forgot how to feel, and when the focuser looks up and realizes they're alone, the integrator is still standing. So let me ask you one last time. Which winner are you? The one who sacrifices everything to win, or the one who redefines what winning actually means? Because the scoreboard doesn't care, but you will.